Good morning. This is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day. A woman is dead and 3 other people are hurt after a crash near downtown Sioux Falls.
Police say an SUV was headed west on East 10th Street around 10:30 Wednesday night. When it got to Cliff Avenue, it crashed into a car and pickup truck. The 19-year-old who was driving the car also went to the hospital, but both he and the driver of the pickup are expected to be okay.
They found a female passenger in the Ford Explorer was deceased. The driver of the Explorer is a 30-year-old female from Sioux Falls. She had to be extricated from the vehicle and was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
It's still early in the investigation, but police say there's evidence that the SUV was speeding.
A new report shows that alcohol and the driver's age are all factors in fatal crashes in South Dakota.
The Department of Public Safety says there were 51 alcohol-related crashes last year, which is 41% of all fatal crashes. 58 people were killed in those crashes. Drivers under 35 were involved in 35% of all fatal crashes.
Digital reporter Ray Yost explores the state's 2024 crash report, including road conditions and other factors, in a Keloland.com original story on our website.
4 communities in South Dakota are without a local paper after its parent company told employees it's shutting down immediately.
Brookings, Huron, Redfield, and Moody County are the 4 areas impacted. One community member in Brookings says he doesn't know how people are going to get their daily local news.
These newspapers are important to help keep community residents connected and informed about what's going on. And so when that is suddenly lost or it's not there, that's a real challenge, and that's not a good thing for those affected communities.
Coming up later today, we'll hear from a few employees at the publications.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Monk. Going to be a hot day around the Sioux Falls area, Scott.
Hot day today, temperatures in the 80s, lower 90s, some thick humidity too. We'll get that heat index in the lower 100s. Heat advisories in place in southeastern Keloland. We'll have temperatures in the 80s and 90s. We'll also have to watch maybe for the showers and thunderstorms that we've had this morning. Redeveloping showers and thunderstorms maybe later this evening across northeastern South Dakota, as well as western South Dakota. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Sioux Falls City Councilors heard the concerns from many community members Wednesday night about Operation Prairie Thunder, a new initiative to crack down on immigration and crime.
Those speaking were concerned for the safety of immigrant families, costs, and the logo design. The discussion lasted more than an hour.
I am here tonight to voice for my community, those who are afraid to speak, whose rights are being violated and stripped away all over across the country.
To hear from others who attended the meeting and the city's response, visit this Keloland.com original by Gracie Terrell.
A proposed Sioux Falls city ordinance would ban encampments or tents in public places where people experiencing homelessness may try to stay.
Taking opposite viewpoints on the proposal are Shannon Ward, who owns a nearby business on 8th Street, and Michelle Treasure, homelessness services coordinator with the city of Sioux Falls.
But I don't think that creating the circumstance for them to not be able to do this and for it to be an arrestable offense is helping, because it's just going to kick the can farther down.
And the biggest thing I think for us is that we want people to be getting referred to primary health care.
The ordinance will have its second reading in front of the City Council on Tuesday, the 12th.
The Southeastern Development Foundation in Sioux Falls has 2 programs dedicated to getting people into affordable housing.
One of those programs is called Recycled Homes, where they take houses like this one that would have otherwise been torn down, relocate them, and remodel them to sell at market rate.
When we relocate it, of course, it gets a brand new foundation. It's got brand new heating, brand new air conditioning, brand new hot water heater, all the mechanics, the siding, roof, all of those kinds of things.
You can take a closer look at this recycled house and find out about a second affordable housing program that it falls under with this Your Money Matters story on Keloland.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another check of your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, a couple headlines today. We've got a heat advisory in effect for Sioux Falls. That means the heat and the humidity. Obviously pretty high today as we watch the ingredients for that coming together, temperatures and dew points. And also some severe weather could also be back. We've been watching that story today. Let's take a look at Futurecast and kind of playing out a few of these trends. We've had some morning activity from Chamberlain to Huron, not all of that being picked up on the modeling. Additionally here, remember the weather forecast for western South Dakota. You're substantially cooler with a northwest wind, but you can develop some scattered rain even though you're well to the west of the actual cold front. The cold front at 4 o'clock is actually coming through Sisseton. It'll even be through Mitchell at that point. So we're going to peak out in the low 90s and then start to drop, and hopefully starting that process of scouring out the humidity. Now, the risk of severe weather is still there east of the James Valley this evening. The main question is, will the cap hold? Now, what's that mean? Well, the cap is the mid-layer of the atmosphere that's warmer. It inhibits storms. There's a lot that goes into that definition. But all you need to know is that if that feature holds strong, then all your storms ignite up toward Fargo again. They had a rough night last night. Grand Forks actually had 90-mile-an-hour winds. So we think that this can fill in a few cells here and there east. It doesn't look widespread necessarily through the early evening. It could become more active on the Minnesota side of the border as we kind of organize some of those features there maybe after midnight. Another thought to consider, there could be some rain that bubbles up out of northeast Nebraska after midnight. So even though this modeling doesn't show as much of that, it could rain a little more in Sioux Falls. Actually, even well behind the front goes through, which would be good because we could avoid the major severe weather implications as a result of that. So again, there's some things to watch. It's a little bit complicated, but tomorrow, hey, we can land on this. Some 80s. Looks pretty nice. Weather forecast dries out, and we're going to finish up the weekend, I'd say pretty decent, actually. A lot of 80s. It's going to get hotter again next week, though, so enjoy the break in Rapid City. We'll be back to probably low to mid-90s either Monday or Tuesday. Sioux Falls, we're tending to warm back in the upper 80s by the end of the forecast. There's not necessarily a lot of rain there. I think the rain chances will come back probably at the end of next week, but if we can take a break on severe weather, that is very good news. And Aberdeen in the northeast, we're also looking at that gap in rain chances. Numbers similar to Sioux Falls in the mid-80s. And then Pierre, it jumps quite a bit more. 90-degree weather is going to come back. And we'll see how hot that gets there by days 5 through 7. Could see some storms kind of back in the mix, too. And finally, Rapid City jumps back to 94 by Tuesday. Check out more details online at KETHLELAND.com.